Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Edward III, and today we get to hear from the Earl of Salisbury in Act 4, Scene 1. So hooray, we've made it to Act 4. But we get to meet somebody new who we haven't really hung out with before. The Earl of Salisbury is on the English side. He's one of King Edward's compatriots. And at this point in the play, we're a little bit farther into the war. We've already seen the English Navy basically destroy the French Navy. And then in the past couple days, we've seen we haven't really seen, but we've heard about some battles that have happened. And apparently Prince Edward fought valiantly and killed the King of Bohemia, which is somewhere in Germany. And that earned him his knighthood. So, Papa King Edward III is very proud of Prince Edward at the moment, and half the troops have split up this way to go find King John, and King Edward, and half the troops have gone this way to go to Calais. So Act 4, Scene 1, we start out, we're somewhere on the battlefield in France, and we have Mountford and Salisbury talking, and Mountford is like, hey, great, so since we've been able to, beat this little bit of territory and I've gotten my lands and titles back in France, then yeah, I totally swear fealty to King Edward III, and here, take this coronet to him and let him know that I've got his back and will be fighting on his side. And the Earl of Salisbury responds, I take it, Mountfort. Thus I hope ere long the whole dominions of the realm of France will be surrendered to his conquering hand. And Mountfort leaves. Now, if I knew but safely how to pass, I would to Calais gladly meet his grace. Whether I am by letters certified, yet he intends to have his host removed. It shall be so. This policy will serve. Ho! Who's within? Bring Villiers to me. Villiers, thou knowest thou art my prisoner, and that I might for ransom, if I would, require of thee 100,000 francs, or else retain and keep thee captive still. But so it is that for a smaller charge thou mayest be quit, and if thou wilt thyself. And this is it. Procure me but a passport of Charles, the Duke of Normandy, that I, without restraint, may have recourse to Calais, through all the countries where he hath to do. Which thou mayest easily obtain, I think, by reason I have often heard thee say he and thou were students once together. And then thou shalt be set at liberty. How sayest thou? Wilt thou undertake to do it? So he starts out while Mountfort is still in the room saying, yes, I will take this coronet to King Edward, and here's hoping that we destroy all of France. And then Mountfort leaves, and he's like, now, if only I knew how to get safely to the king, haha, I have an idea. And he calls in Villiers, who's a prisoner that he has, a French prisoner that he has. And he's like, just so you know, you're my prisoner, and I could ask some crazy ransom of you, but instead I want you to get me a passport so that I can travel safely through France, so that Charles, the Duke of Normandy, will just let me by and not attack me anywhere where he might happen to have domain between here and Calais. And he's not talking a passport in the sense that we think of passports. He's thinking passport more in the way that we think of visas. So just, like permission to go from point A to point B without any sort of hassle. And he's like, if you do this, if you're able to get this thing for me, then I will free you and you won't be my prisoner anymore. So how does that sound? And Villiers is like, yeah, absolutely, I'll do that. And I think probably the best part of it is the Earl of Salisbury is like, okay, so go and make sure that happens, but promise me that if you're not able to get this passport, you're going to come back and be my prisoner again. And Villiers is like, yeah, of course I promise that. And Salisbury is like, okay, go get my passport, thanks, bye. And that's the end of Act 4, Scene 1. So just totally on his word, on his honor, Salisbury releases Villiers to run this errand for him, with the condition that if he's not able to do it, then Villiers becomes his prisoner again, and Villiers is fine with that and just goes off to do it. But anyway, we can guess since there's an entire scene dedicated to the getting of this passport and the making of a deal and how important it is going to be to get this passport, that it might become important. I don't know. We'll find out in the next couple days. I'll see you tomorrow for more. Mwah.